Have you ever stumbled out of bed to do your zombie walk to your Mueller coffee Nespresso machine, and when you go to turn it on, the front buttons just keep flashing like this, as if the machine is trying to heat up water, but they just keep flashing, and the machine is never ready to make coffee? Well, I have, and if anybody else has out there, this is how to fix it. Step number 1, very important: unplug the machine from the electrical outlet in your home so there's no electricity coming into it. Do not skip this step, very important. I'm gonna just pry it out. There we go. Yeah, so that's where it comes out of. Step number 2, remove the water reservoir. This easily comes out, as you may know, by just pulling up, and easily removable. You don't want your work surface to get wet while you're repairing any electrical device, because water might get inside the device, and we don't want that. Next, you'll remove your waste container. Now, there are 2 screws in the bottom, and you will just use a standard Phillips head screwdriver to remove them. Once those screws are out from the bottom, you move on to these screws, which are on either side of this handle here. Now, this part is a little tricky, takes a little experimentation. There are these tabs that you see here, these plastic tabs that kind of hold this piece of plastic in place. What you got to do is you got to start from the back. You got to start by kind of prying this part off. You can use a large screwdriver if you want. Just do it gently. Make sure you don't crack the plastic. So you're just going to pry this off until the back comes off. The back part comes off, and once that happens, it'll be much easier to remove the rest. You'll first pull the panel this way to disengage these little plastic tabs, and then there are up here there are 3 tabs that hold this plastic in place, and what you do is you just angle out the this piece and just gently pull it down. So I decided to take a peek inside, and I found that this wire here, and that's the one with the black insulation on the outside of it, has become disconnected from that metal connector down there that you see. So these types of connections, especially where they're coming in contact with things that vibrate, they tend to wear out over time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder the 2 metal pieces together to make a nice solid connection. And as you can see, not the prettiest solder, but it'll do its job, keep the 2 metal pieces together, and so electrical current can flow through, and now water that is inside the heating tank can be heated by the heating element. I just used Regular, soldering iron. This one I bought at Radio Shack about 15 years ago, I think. And some regular solder. And that's it. So let's test and see if it works. Alright, so here we go and get the cover of the machine still off. As you can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and test it out. Power it on. Looks like it's trying to heat up. So the water and yes, it looks like temperature sensor has sensed that the water is heated up and it's ready to brew. And here we go. So finished up. As you can see, the repair was a success.